World of Matchups is back. Super Bowl Sunday in the National Football League. My name is Dexter Reid. I am your host on the other side of the glass, my A1 from day one and producer of World of Matchups. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in Spencer the Wiz. And joining us for the last episode of the playoffs this year, we have my good friend and Seahawk fan, Keelan Taylor. We're all going to break down what we think is potentially going to happen tomorrow and probably what I think is going to be one of the most boring Super Bowls we've seen in the last 20 years. But that's what we do here at World of Matchups. We break down games. Good morning, gentlemen. How are you today?
No, I'm good, man. It is depressing. I'm gonna have to go back to watching basketball after this. I'm a big basketball fan, but yeah, there's nothing that compares to having Sundays. And this is, on paper, it's one of the best Super Bowls we've had in a long time, if we're really being honest with ourselves. But I think the reality of it, it's once you look beyond the names of who's playing in it, it's a little bit different. Although I will say, before I get into my big preview, I am gonna call this like the humiliation bowl. Someone is going to get absolutely humiliated, not in terms of like the score, which may happen. Mike Vrabel and Sam Darnold were thrown to the trash cans from two garbage organizations. And so I think when you think about it from that perspective specifically, this is quite an interesting Super Bowl because someone is going to be crying in their beer, like one of these franchises in the night. Like this is the justification kind of thing. Like the Titans said Mike Vrabel couldn't get them to the Super Bowl. The Jets drafted Sam Darnold like third overall, and they said he was trash. And now he led them to the Super Bowl. He was not a game manager. He led them to the Super Bowl. So that does get me a little excited, to be honest with you, going into tomorrow's game.
Yeah, I'm excited about the Sam Darnold aspect of it as well. I'll start first. I believe that 4.5 is about right. I do think that 45.5 is a bit high. So we'll start with the spread and Seattle. I've liked Seattle now. If you guys have been watching the show for a number of weeks, I've been on the Seattle hype train now for about 2 months. I have said maybe the last 6 weeks or less that they're going to be Super Bowl champions, and I'm not about to back off that. I know for all intents and purposes, we're talking about handicapping the game and making money. I'm one of the few people that's not going to allow myself to get gassed by the 4.5, thinking that the Patriots can cover this. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to now come off it. I was thinking about it for a minute, but then I decided that, I'm going all in with Seattle. I just don't see it. I think that they murder this team personally. I think it's going to be a lower scoring game because you have two really intense defenses going at each other. And I just want to see Sam Darnold excel. I want the Jets, I want the Niners, I want the Panthers, I want the Vikings. I all want these guys crying in their cornflakes over what they potentially let go. And I'm going to call it right now. Sam Darnold, Super Bowl MVP. It's going to be a story of an underdog achieving, no matter what has happened to him, whether it was injury or whether he was thrown away like a bag of garbage. This guy's going to come out shining tomorrow, and I really, really hope that it happens because, quite personally, I don't think I can endure another season knowing that the Super Bowl champions are the New England Patriots. I'm not saying that they're frauds, but they really haven't beaten quality competition all year. I mean, a lot of things went their way in the playoffs. This is one of the easiest paths to the Super Bowl that I've ever seen. And has any other franchise in history had easier paths to Super Bowls than the New England Patriots, man? It just always seems like they get games in their building and they play these cupcakes, man. The one time that they played the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Jaguars had that game dead to rights and the NFL stole it from them. The Tuck Rule, Spygate, Deflategate, they're just hard to like, man. And so I'm sticking with the Seattle Seahawks here. My Green Goblin is going to be Rashid Shaheed. I said it a couple weeks ago. I don't think that there was a better trade deadline acquisition made by any team in the National Football League better than Shaheed going to Seattle. He is a multi-purpose, multifaceted player. He can do a lot of different things for you. I'm willing to put some money down on a kick return or punt return prop bet. I could see him cribbing one of those with ease. He's very electric, and they're going to double JSN here. They're going to try to take JSN out of this game, which means guys like Barner, guys like Shaheed they will. Alice was going to have his hands, but that leaves a lot of the rest of the field open. I mean, I know their top 10 pass defense, and I know Vrabel is coach of the year. You know, I know Kraft and Belichick just got snubbed. I mean, everything right now is pointing to guys for the defense, the better pass defense, and I think they have the better offense. And quite frankly, if contain Drake May and not let him run all over the field, they're just don't like what they're doing. I don't like when they've played. They lost to the Steelers. They lost to the Raiders. I mean, they're bottom feeders, man. They've had one win all season before the playoffs versus a team that was better than 500 when they played them. And that was the Bills, and they won 23-20. And then when they played the Bills again, they got destroyed. So I'm off them in a big way. Travel's a thing. There's little to no juice coming out of either camp here. To me, the Patriots are just boring, man. And I think it would be an abomination for the National Football League, quite frankly, to see them win this Super Bowl. I think it's bad for the NFL to see a team like this go in and win the Super Bowl. The only thing I really like about them is Drake May. I like May. I like Vrabel, but that's it. I think if Kenneth Walker can just continue to sustain these drives and Sam Darnold does not turn the ball over, Seattle should win this game by 6 to 7 points. I'm laying the 4.5. I'm doing it with confidence. I've been screaming Seattle with my chest for weeks, and I'm not about to come off it. And I'm here to tell you, if the New England Patriots find a way to win this Super Bowl, y'all aren't going to hear from me for a while, man. I just don't think I could talk about football for a while if I have to deal with it. I mean, it'll be the draft before you hear from me again. I just can't stomach them. I can't deal with them. They're my least favorite team in the National Football League. I like the Raiders more than I like New England. I'm a Kansas City Chief fan. I like the Denver Broncos more than I like the New England. I just can't do it. I cannot do it. And so the thought of Stephon Diggs getting a rig for Josh Allen makes me sick. Like, it just all makes me sick. So it's Seattle to the grave. I'm all about the 12s tomorrow. I think the defense shows out. And I'm not even watching this game. I'm going to be at work, and I'm just going to be on my phone, pulling and praying that Sam Darnold cashes me out because I got a lot of money wrapped up in Sam Darnold tomorrow. And I like these kind of underdog, come from behind, Kurt Warner, Sam Darnold stories. I like these kind of guys that keep getting told they're not good enough, you're not fast enough, you're not strong enough, you suck, we drafted the wrong guy, we're going to get rid of you. I like these guys. Those are my guys. I like guys that come out from the dumpster and eat filet mignon at the end. And so Seattle minus 4.5, I'm taking the under. I think that there's going to be a lot of jitters. There's going to be a lot of feeling each other out. I think the first quarter you can pretty much scrap, honestly. I think 45.5 is too much. I could see 17-14. I could see 21, 14. I don't think it's going to be more than that. These defenses are way too good. I think both quarterbacks will play good enough, but there's going to be one of them that makes a mistake, turns the ball over, and that's ball game. Seattle to the grave. And I want to see my boy Keelan get this W.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, Seahawks might win like 45-0. I don't know. I don't know what people are talking about. It's a blowout. I got my girl talking about Bad Bunny and the Patriots. She don't even know football. I got people at work talking about Patriots. It's just a bunch of jibber jabber. We gonna blow them out the water. It's what we're supposed to do. The other storyline people not talking about. Well, they are talking about it, but like we already gave one up to these guys. We got to get our lick back. We need that because, in my opinion, that changed the trajectory of our franchise. Because if we win that Super Bowl, back-to-back Super Bowls, who knows what happens from there, right? Who knows what guys we retain? Who knows what new guys we get added back? So, I mean, for me, I think it's going to be a blowout. I don't think it's going to be close. I think we're better in every facet of the game. Special teams, defense, offense don't matter. To me, Drake May is going to be too bright. I could be wrong, but this year when it comes to talking about Seahawks, I ain't been wrong.
Yeah, I'm definitely big on the Seahawks in this game. I just don't have enough confidence. I will say to give a little bit of credit to the Patriots, like they're certainly not the greatest Super Bowl team ever to make it, but there is a credit is due for a team that just doesn't fumble over themselves, because that's really what the AFC West or the AFC did. They just are so dumb. They just can't get it together to such an extent that they just let this team walk into them. And so there's something that can be said about your franchise just putting your head down and doing the right things, making the right decisions year after year. And then sometimes you end up doing this. Not every Super Bowl is going to be dynasty bound. A lot of these are just one-offs. We've seen that. I mean, the Chiefs, the Patriots, like all those years, I'm not going to call them flukes because those teams are legit, but I'm saying a lot of the times the Super Bowl is two teams that don't really get the chance to ever do it again. And so I think you could be seeing that now. You just got to take what you can get. Sometimes you get lucky, and they did. But I just think the Seahawks are on another level right now. I felt like last week was the real Super Bowl, to be honest with you, and it played out like one. If that was a Super Bowl, we'd call that one of the greatest Super Bowls we've ever seen, in my opinion. That was a really great game between the Seahawks and Rams last week. And that was like my only good bet, too. That I think I had Seahawks minus 2.5 and Patriots money line. So I won some money last week because of that. But yeah, I like to make all my Super Bowl bets here on Saturday right before. It's just like a fun pastime to go through. I'm not a huge weird prop bet guy, but I do all the weird ones for the Super Bowl, and kind of agree with you. I do like the under in the first quarter. I mean, you can bet about just about anything in the Super Bowl. It's kind of insane actually what they let you bet. I think that could be a really good one. I could see the game starting very stiff. The defense has kind of set the tone. Both quarterbacks don't really want to take any major shots and stuff like that. And then I think I could see it opening up, to be honest with you. I think there's going to get a point, especially if the Patriots get behind. It's just going to be food for the Seahawks. I think the Patriots thrive off of pressure. And shout out to Clint Kubiak, by the way, soon to be Raiders head coach. He turned what people consider the worst offensive line in football last year. And now they look like one of the best. Now they did draft Gray Zabel. I love that pick, and he's been really great for them. And so sometimes you just need that final piece of the puzzle to really kick things in the next gear. If they can keep that under control, and not to say that the rest of their team is bad, but I don't think they need to get all of this production from Jackson Smith and Jigba in this game. I don't see this being a Rams kind of game where it's high flying, tons of points and stuff like that. They have so many underrated weapons. I think those guys will step up. Truthfully, I think a defensive player is going to win defensive MVP. It's kind of hard to tell. The Seahawks always just seem to do that too. I can't even remember the guy. This linebacker. Yeah, they're a linebacker. I remember going to the Raiders the year after he won Super Bowl MVP, and he wasn't even that good. So someone's just going to step up. It kind of just has that identity in this game too, considering the last time these two played and the interception at the goal line. It's like it just has that look on it to where I'm going to look lower down the MVP ladder and just see if I can pick someone that kind of sticks out to me, a Witherspoon type of guy. Not that he's random, but someone's going to have a key play, I think, defensively. I think that's going to be the true difference maker. I don't even see very many interceptions in this game. Just a very safe 175 yards maybe for Drake May. So I have to look at his over-under for yards, and maybe 250 for Sam Darnold. It's going to come down to the run game. It's going to come down to just someone fumbling the ball. And I just think that the Seahawks are just a more disciplined football team. It's I think the Patriots are just going to get a little enveloped by just being there, especially even Mike Vrabel. They're just going to have all this energy, but sometimes you need to go beyond that. When you're in the Super Bowl, it's not just about being super excited to be there. It's about the professional side of wanting that ring. And I just think the Seahawks have more of it than the Patriots do, who just, got there because they got there because of the most competent team, not because it was like a gauntlet to get there.
They're one of the worst 14-win teams I've ever seen. I don't care what anyone says, man. I mean, you got to be careful as a Seattle Seahawk truther here, because the Patriots are going to come in with this us against the world mentality, and that could be dangerous if you don't, jump on them early, which I do think Seattle will do. I think they're going to jump on them early. Seattle jumps teams, man. You know what I mean? You're not paying attention, you get caught lacking, and then all of a sudden, it's 7-0. You just get jumped. You weren't expecting it. Oh my God, how did that happen? All of a sudden, it's 10-0. You know what I mean? I think that's what's going to really happen here. But I do like Seattle first quarter. I do like Seattle for minus a 4.5. I do like the under. My favorite prop bet for tomorrow is Drake May rushing prop. Whatever his overs are, you take them rushing, and anytime rushing touchdown for Drake May. I absolutely love this, because if the Patriots are going to win this game, it's going to be because of Drake May. The way he beat Denver on the ground, it's going to have to be the same thing here, or else I think the Patriots have little to no shot at winning this game, because that secondary is coming for blood. Rulin, I don't care that Imaniuri's supposedly kind of hurt. That boy is going to ball out tomorrow. Devin Witherspoon is taking people's lives. I'm just not feeling what the Patriots are putting down here, and I feel very confident about this. I'm going to say it with my chest, man. I love Seattle here. I almost feel like a Seahawk fan here. Honestly, I really, really do. And so those are my favorite props. I'll let you guys spit your props, and then we're going to get out of here.
Yeah, you said you feel like a Seahawks fan. You feel kind of good today, don't you?
I'm feeling good today, man. Hey, man, if my team's not going to be in a Super Bowl, I'm going to root for one of my friends' teams. I'm not a hater. I'm not a hater. If the Raiders win a Super Bowl, I don't care that I'm a Chiefs fan. I'm rooting for the Raiders for Spencer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's just how it is. I want my people to experience what I've experienced, and you have a little bit of experience, and it's time for you to get your lick back. You should have never lost that Super Bowl, and redemption is tomorrow.
Absolutely. And so Malcolm Smith was the linebacker that won the
went right to the Raiders afterward. That's why I remember that.
And then he was buns.
Terrible.
I like DeMarcus Lawrence. I think he's having a very special season this year. He's gotten, I think, 3 defensive touchdowns this year.
Mm-hmm. And they threw him away too.
I think 2 of them were in the same game, and then the 2 in the same game, I think he caused the fumble and picked the ball up. So he just kind of had one of them lucky seasons where he's getting these touches. So I like him. I like Leonard Williams, big cat. I like him to come out and just kind of wreck the game. I know the Patriots have like a pretty good line, but like it's not top tier, is it? So I feel like we come through and definitely handle business there. I think the Shaheed call is a good call. I think Barner, I called it a couple weeks ago. I think AJ Barner is a good call too with all this JSN talk and all this. I don't think Torrey Horton is playing right now. I'm pretty sure he's out for the season, but I like us next year. I mean, we're just going to get better and better. That's the thing. It's like right now, our money's already put up in Sam. It's not a lot of money compared to these other big-time Super Bowl quarterback contracts. I think we just keep getting better. I think we get more pieces. I think the defense is going to get more and more elite. Mike McDonald's a real deal. You know, I'm excited what the future holds. It makes you feel good to be a Seahawks fan because you're looking at it and like it feels 2012-esque. It feels like dominant defense, discipline. It feels good. So I'm excited to see what happens tomorrow.
Give me a Cooper Kupp passing touchdown. I don't know how specific I can get. It depends on your sports book. I love, like I said, I don't normally do stuff like this, but the Super Bowl, that is like my favorite time to really browse. And dude, you can bet against like other sports and stuff like that. Last year, the big one that I hit was a non-starting quarterback to throw a pass, and that was Kenny Pickett, like right at the end. I mean, literally like right at the end, like one of the last few plays. I do think that Cooper Kupp throws a touchdown. I can just see it. This is the time where you throw your playbook, into the wind. Whatever weird thing that you practice for one situation, you practice it for the Super Bowl. And I think he is the most able-bodied player to throw a pass on the team because we've seen it happen. He did it before for the Rams. I believe he had a passing touchdown, if not multiple, for them at some point. So that is my favorite one by far. I might buy some squares, stuff like that. Those are always fun to root for. I could see like a 1-7 square hitting. I'd probably take the 1 for the Seahawks, the 7 for the Patriots. I could easily see a 17-21 end score of the Super Bowl. I don't think the Seahawks are going to be settling for field goals very often in this one. I think they're going to go for it a lot on 4th down. I'm going to look at 4th down conversion bets. I mean, like I said, it gets pretty funky when you do it. I mean, there's just options that you don't normally see. And I just have a feeling that if the over-under for 4th downs is like 3.5, I'm blowing past that over. I could see them going for 4th down early on, both sides. And then once you get to the end of the game, I think those are going to start flying off. Just anything unconventional. I feel like this is going to be a fairly unconventional Super Bowl.
Jason Myers, longer field goal, too. Whatever his field goal prop is, I think he'll kick one further. So I like that a lot. This Super Bowl really doesn't have a whole lot of juice for me, so you kind of got to create the juice with prop bets and stuff. I like squares, you know what I mean? Squares are good. Basically, guys, you just got to find stuff that you really love and root for it here because, quite frankly, the star power is not here. It's just like a lot of new blood. You got no Mahomes, no Josh Allen. I mean, no Lamar. It's just no Puka, no Stafford. The big name guys in the NFL aren't in this game. And so you kind of got to create your own magic and make it fun. I think prop bets is the best way to do that. But if I'm laying bigger bets, if I want to make some real money, I'm just taking the Seattle Seahawks minus the 4.5. I'm not playing around with it. And I think I'm going to eat a steak and lobster dinner afterward. And if not, it's just going to be a long off season because I can't stand on New England Patriots. That's it, guys. We got a quick show for you today. We're in and we're out. Enjoy the Super Bowl tomorrow. Remember what we always say on this show, man. You know, we come on here, we do this for fun, man. We're a couple of regular old guys that aren't balling. We like to throw a couple dollars at a game here and there. You know, like I said, Keelan, this is his Super Bowl, so we're kind of really rooting hard for him. None of us like the Patriots. No Raider fan, no Chief fan, and no Seahawk fan will ever like the Patriots. So if you're a Patriot fan watching this, do yourself a favor and log off because this really ain't for you, man. This is the rest of the world rooting for the team that we want to see win. So, on behalf of World of Matches, my name is Dexter Reid. That is Spencer the Wiz up top, middle box, Keelan Taylor. Keelan, thanks for coming on for the playoffs, man. Dude, it's been fun, man.
Appreciate
it. It's been fun having some other voices in the box. You know, we really appreciate you being a supporter, and we look forward to having you guys on in the future. As far as Super Bowl Sunday ending, you know, me and Spence will take a little break, and then we're going to start preparing you guys
I
for
can't
the
wait.
NFL draft.
Well, I have a
Which
little extra
is-
reason to be excited this year. So
Yeah, the NFL draft's going to be dope. Spencer is lit. Fernando Mendoza's coming in. Looks like Clint Kubiak's going to be a head coach. Raiders are on their way, folks. Laugh if you want to, but I'm telling you right now, I can see the Raiders going deep in the playoffs in less than 3 years. You guys enjoy tomorrow. Eat wings, eat nachos, eat
don't drink and
burgers.
drive.
Do not drink and drive. There's absolutely no excuse with Ubers, Lyfts, and if any of my friends are watching this and you need a Lyft, call me. Call me collect. I will come get you wherever you are. You guys enjoy the game tomorrow. We appreciate the support. Like, subscribe, share as always. And we'll talk to you guys in a couple weeks. Enjoy tomorrow. It's the best day of the year.
See you guys.